Hello everyone, and happy Halloween! Today I'd like to treat you to a few spooky stories of mine. If you don't believe in ghosts, just take these as creepy stories for fun. If you do, let me know if you've ever encountered any spirits in your life. Almost everyone in my family have experienced something they can't explain. Even those who don't believe in ghosts have their own stories. Once, my dad, my brother, his sister and mother were exploring an old abandoned asylum. The rooms were all empty. But this was one of the last asylums closed in the 80s, after reports of the mistreatments came out. Patients didn't have a name, only a number, and doctors using the patients for their own gains was common. This meant several children were born inside the walls of the asylum. No matter if they were truly disabled or not, if you were born to a patient inside the asylum, you would live out your entire life there. Your only name being a number. Outside the asylum, there was a graveyard for the patients who died inside the walls. Crosses lined up in rows, none of them having any names, only numbers. My family was exploring the grounds, seeing what was left. There was no one there except for them, and yet somehow, a scream cut through the air. The scream wasn't angry or faked. My father described it as a scream of pure terror. Where did it come from? If no one except for them were there, who or what was it? I grew up in what I believe to be a very haunted apartment. It was in one of the poorer areas and was constructed in the 70s. No one would stay in our stairway for very long, but instead move out just a few months after moving in. If moving out, I've wondered if perhaps it was related to what we experienced. I lived there with my mom for 17 years, and in that time, things happened. Back when I was a baby, I had a lung condition that meant my mother sometimes had to rush to the hospital to stop me from choking. She'd be very anxious of leaving me in my room at night in case anything were to happen. Each night, she would lay on edge trying to catch if I would have another episode that night. But ever so often, there were nights where she could relax. That was the nights she saw a woman standing by my crib. A young woman with long brown hair, a white dress, and a smile on her face. My mom didn't know who that woman was, but each time my mom saw her, she knew nothing bad would happen to me. It was as if she or it was trying to protect me. As I grew, I would start having my own experiences too. I would play with my horse dolls, go out of the room for just a second or two, and come back to them facing the opposite direction of how I left them. Stuffed animals would lay on the other side of the room as if they were thrown. I made sure to always keep music on, as I could hear something whispering after my name when I was home alone. And at night I could hear something moving under my bed, scratching, clawing, slithering on the floor below. I only have one instance of someone except for my mom and I experiencing something strange. All the other times, no one noticed anything. I don't know why. This time, it was a friend of mine. She had it rough at home, stuck with abusive parents. In high school, she ran away from home and crashed at my place for about a month. This time, I left her at the apartment as I was going to have a dance class. There wasn't any issues with that, and it would just be for 2 hours. But for those 2 hours, she was alone. There was no one else in the apartment. Yet, she kept hearing a woman calling on her from my room. But there was no one there. When I got back home, the color was drained from her face. Each time I entered my room, my chest would tighten, and the energy wasn't just bad in there. It felt like pure hatred. Like something wanted to hurt me. Only once do I remember this energy feeling positive. The night before, I had a lot of activities, and I was scared of what might happen that night. And when I looked at the door, I saw someone. It was a young woman with a white dress and long brown hair and a smile on her face. Everything about her just felt safe and calm. Years later, when my mom and I had moved out, we discussed all of that, and that we hadn't experienced anything after moving out. I told her about the woman. My mom asked what she looked like, and when I told her, it was the same woman who had kept me safe as a baby, no doubt about it. There were a lot of incidents other than what I have told you, and almost everyone in my family has experienced strange things they can't explain. But at least, here are a few. Have you experienced anything supernatural? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to read them all. Happy Halloween, and stay safe.